Bob, answer this phone, man. Answer this phone, bro. I need to talk to you for a minute. Hello. What up? I just need to talk to you for a minute.
What's up, man?
Today on Base Talks, we got Dwain Blair, a gentleman I just met today in the lounge at the airport. What's that lounge called?
The Maple Leaf Lounge.
Maple Leaf Lounge.
That's right.
A lounge that people go when they want to spend a little bit more money to be a little bit more comfortable when they're traveling. We met there. I heard you talking. I heard a black man. First, I saw you come in and stuff. You were getting a bite to eat, and you were talking on your phone and doing little stuff. And I heard you talking loud. Like, you know, us black guys are loud. That's not true. But you mentioned money, and I heard 10 million. 10 million. What is this guy doing? and I heard you talking about fighting and stuff, and I'm thinking about this UFC fighter. You know, I'm saying, could that be him? I can't remember the guy's name right now, but I was thinking, could that be him?
Okay.
The kind of money he's talking about. So I took an interest, and then I'm like, I never heard black guys talking like this and loud. And I said, it can't be illegal. he's talking too loud, and you know, I approached you and gave you my card. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I did. Man, you're nice to talk to in the airport, and I hope we can have an even better conversation here.
Absolutely.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you here.
It was great to meet you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Beautiful place you have here. And so far, it's only about my, fifth time to the Halifax area. First time this has ever happened to me where I meet somebody and I'm like, hey, is this going to be a Dateline episode? I don't know, but I'm going to go anyway. Yeah. And I'm so happy I met you. And yeah, it's great to be here. I hope we have a great chat. Just like keep it the way we had it in the lounge. And it's going to be great for other people to hear these stories. Yeah. So,
man, I'm from East Preston. I'm from Preston, and there's been a lot of shootings and killings here, right, in the neighborhood and stuff. And you're talking about guns. Oh, loud. Now, you're talking about guns. And I'm hearing millions of dollars, and I'm talking about guns and different stuff. Or did you mention guns at the time? Or was that something I asked you later? I think that's what I asked you later.
You asked me later, yeah.
I came over to you and I introduced myself and gave you my card. And I said, what do you do, man? I mean, because you're mentioning a lot of money. I'm saying, I can get a hookup here somehow. I mean, this is the business lounge where travelers meet, right?
100%, yeah.
And then you told me what you done, what you do.
Yes.
What is it you do?
So I'm a contract officer for the Canadian Embassy in Washington, D.C. So I represent Canada on deals that we do with the United States government. So any weapon, usually the Navy's my client, the Canadian Navy. It's called the Canadian Royal Navy, I think is their name, their official name, government name. And so if they want to buy a weapon that the U.S. already has, there's a lot of like red tape to buy weapons. Right. To spend millions of dollars in Canada, there's so many rules. So luckily, my signing authority is 25 million USD. You can buy a lot of things with 25 million USD. So, so my job is to negotiate with the United States government, a contract with them, and it's government to government. So the Canadian government doesn't have to put out an RFP, a request for proposals, and that's the way that we normally do to keep things fair. So if there's a little company in Toronto, a little company in Vancouver, a little company in Alberta, they can't say, oh, my cousin works for that company in Toronto, so I'm going to give them that $25 million contract. So they have to have an RFP. But when the U.S. government is buying weapons and their military is, I'd say, about 6 or 7 times bigger than the Canadian military, well, they're already getting discount pricing. So Canada can justify going to the United States government saying, hey, we want that exact same weapon, but we don't want to pay the premium because we want 6. Let's say we want 6 bombs. Well, those 6 bombs are going to cost about $6 million per bomb. But because the United States is buying 6,000 bombs, now we're going to get their pricing of, like, let's say $1 million. I get to save all the taxpayers all that money and keep our taxes reasonable in order to outfit our needs and requirements for the Canadian Navy or the Canadian Army or the Air Force. But I specifically work a lot with the Navy, so that's why I go to Halifax and I go to Victoria, BC a lot, because it's just on the coast. The weapons are there. We can go and test them if we need to test them. We can make sure that they fit our submarines or our ships, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you have to have a license to do this?
Well, you have to be the level that I am. You have to have a university degree.
Okay.
And so I got my education in Toronto. I went to university at York University, but you basically start at the bottom of procurement. You start with they put you on pens, they put you on paper, photocopiers, and then you just kind of work your way up to where you get to now. So I started at the bottom and worked my way up. So
so that you buy weapons.
So I buy weapons.
Can I ask you what kind of weapons?
Yes, absolutely. So I buy. I'm the main guy for torpedoes. Another weapon called a harpoon missile. Okay. Missiles in general for ships and for submarines, and then there's some other odds and ends contracts that Canada has that we go straight to the United States, and we want to buy that either service, that repair. For instance, Canada has a contract to save and rescue submariners. So I'm the contracting authority, and for that, the United States government has the proprietary rights to a machine that helps save any soldier, any NATO soldier, but you have to have a contract for them to actually come and save you.
So you said save submariners. You're not talking about the ship. You're talking about the men.
The men. Yes, okay. Yes. So if for some reason a ship goes down, a submarine goes down, and we know that it's within a little area, because the rescue is only designed to help people that are kind of helpable, where they would still be alive. If they went too far down in the ocean, and it's too black, well then now you're risking the rescue men and the soldiers that are already down there. So we keep it at a reasonable rate, a reasonable distance, where we can actually do a successful save. Luckily, Canada has never had to do one.
So you buy the weapons so Canada can save money. So you buy them at a discount rate.
That's right.
What do you know about weapons? Do you get to fire these weapons off?
Yeah. So my knowledge is from being in the military for 5 years. I served in the infantry as a reserve officer. I didn't love it, and I don't think it was the right trade, because what I do is called procurement. So procurement is part of a trade, logistics trade. But when I went in, being a black belt in martial arts, being physically fit, they automatically put me in infantry. But infantry, being tough in martial arts or being a good athlete isn't the same as being a military soldier. Those men and women that serve our country as soldiers, yes, they're a different breed. So it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't the right fit for me. And then later on in life, I actually tried to get back into the military, but there was a whole bunch of issues with that and the speed. And at the same time, I was working as a federal government employee, getting paid well. I was like, well, I can just follow this path instead of jumping through all these hoops to get back into the military, into in the proper trade that would have been right for me.
You mentioned fighting martial arts there. Mm-hmm. Martial arts, right?
Martial arts.
We're gonna get into that because you mentioned that you won a title in Germany.
In Germany, yes, right, Karlsruhe. Yeah,
we talked about that. But let's get back to these guns.
Back to the guns.
These guns. And you being a black man.
Yes.
How much flack have you got? And in the team you work with.
Yeah.
Are you treated well?
So
meeting different people and discussing stuff?
Yeah. So honestly, I have had some situations and some allegations at work in my past that I'm actually not allowed to talk about. Oh, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you. So situations where I think that because of the color of my skin, I felt that they were saying, they being management and upper management, that I was guilty right off the bat. And I've seen other people be in this situation, and you can go different avenues in the government of like finding out who's right, who's wrong, and doing interviews. At the end of the day, I was absolved of the situation.
Nice.
But there's been other times when I've walked into government buildings and I'm the only person that gets ID'd, even though I worked there just as long as Joe Smith that worked there, who is Caucasian male, right? So there's not a lot of people at my level that are my skin color. It's tough to go up. Racism, what I find about Canada, I have family in the States as well, and I travel to the States quite often. The racism in the States is quite overt. You know where you stand. You know how high you're going to get because they're going to tell you straight up, this is the highest level you're going to be, sir. And are you happy with that? And they have to
in
say,
the States?
In the States.
Yeah.
In Canada, I find that the racism is more overt. It's not in your... Is that right? No, sorry. In America, cut that. In America, it's more overt. In Canada, it's more covert. So they will talk behind your back, behind closed doors, where you don't hear about it. In Canada, but in the States, they'll be in your face.
Right,
it'll be in your face,
yeah.
right? So I have had situations, but as you know, just from meeting me for 5 minutes in the lounge, I'm not shy.
Yeah.
I'll speak my mind, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologize at the end. But I'll ask them straight up, are you being racist right now? Yeah. So I asked the gentleman that asked me for my ID. I said, you could have asked anybody here their ID. Why did you ask just me? And he's like, well, I don't recognize you. I said, well, no, that's wrong. I said, I've worked in this building for 20 years.
Did you recognize him?
I recognize you. So I asked him straight up, and then I went straight to my boss. I said, listen, there's going to be a problem here. Somebody just asked me for my ID, and I don't want to show my ID, and I know that I belong here, and he only asked me. I said, if it was Brittany, if it was Mark, these are two Caucasian male and female that I work with, they would have never asked. And when I walked in the building, I walked in with multiple people, and he only picked me out of the crowd.
Doing his job, should he be asking everybody?
He should be asking everybody.
Yeah.
I said, if he would have asked everybody, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But because he just asked me, we're going to have this conversation.
Even in talking to you, you have a presence. You don't come off as scared. You don't come off as someone that doesn't, feels inadequate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have the confidence. And then you run into these racial things. I run into racial different things in my business. But I choose to work above it.
Okay.
And show that I can do the job. And you're obviously showing you can do the job.
Yes.
And part of your job has to be someone that can think fast, remember stuff, and speak. And speak clearly. And you can do that. So
yeah.
you have skills.
Thank you. Thank you.
Skills. You caught my attention. Maybe it was the $10 million that caught my
yes.
got my attention. This came together quick.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping to get together with you later on in the week, and I was gonna get some lobsters. I'm still gonna get some lobsters, man.
Yes.
If you have time to come and eat them with me.
Absolutely.
Or I'll bring them to you. I was gonna cook. I gotta sweeten the deal here. How do I get him to come and do an interview? I gotta, I said, and Sean said, cook some lobsters. Get some lobsters. I make the best lobsters in Scotia.
Okay.
So we gotta get you some lobsters.
I'm a big seafood guy.
You like lobsters?
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're gonna have the best you ever had.
Okay.
So we're gonna get you those lobsters.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I thank you for coming here, man. And this is, I'm saying thank you like it's over. No, we're just beginning.
Okay.
Because just hearing another black man talk, and like in the place that's all white people except for me and you, and they're black.
Exactly.
I mean, with the confidence of hearing from your voice and the freedoms of talking in the way that you would sound like you were talking to another lady on the phone, or
I was. It was a lady.
And the way you handled the conversation, I was listening.
Okay.
And I could tell that you were listening to her when she was talking, and she was listening to you when you was talking, and you guys were having a great conversation, and I could tell it was about business.
Yeah.
And I could tell that whatever you were doing, it wasn't illegal.
No.
But this man knows something. So I'm glad I approached you, and you're selling guns.
Yes.
And like I said,
Buying guns.
you're buying guns.
Yeah.
Yes.
We never saw.
I'm from Preston, and there's been a lot of people's lives and children taken by guns.
Okay.
And you're not even purchasing guns. That these guns go in the stores. They go to the military.
Straight to the military.
If you train
Yeah.
people, and that are trained to use these guns to defend us. So, but how do you feel when you hear a young white kid, black kid being killed by these guns. You know.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just in Connecticut. I was in Connecticut. So Canada had a contract with a company out there, a military company that supports the U.S. military. So they don't support Canada yet, but they want to. They really want to help Canada out. They're very advanced with like their submarines and stuff like that. And weapons on submarines.
So is Canada kind of shipping up to defend themselves more?
We are. Carney is.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. All right.
It's public knowledge that Canada is trying to increase their spending on military.
Okay.
So Canada is also cutting tons of spending, but they're not cutting military spending.
So if they have gentlemen like you and ladies like purchasing guns,
Yep.
to help defend us, then why is another part of the government taking away our guns?
So
More guns would not be.
yeah, so there's a big difference in that. We're not buying pistols for just that could end up on the street, right? So we're
Right.
buying weapons that are either mounted to submarines, mounted to ships, mounted to helicopters,
Okay.
mounted to planes. So it's not something that would ever probably end up in a gang war or just with regular civilians. They'd be very hard to use. So like I said, I was just in the States and I was talking about gun violence, and they're like, "You're against gun violence?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm against. I think that your rules of the right to bear arms is a ridiculous rule that back in like, let's say the 50s or before would be okay because everyone was like cowboys and Indians and everyone carried guns. But now in the 2000s, we're in 2026. Like, why are we having mass shootings? Because in America, you guys are allowed to have those guns. In Canada, we don't have those mass shootings because we don't have guns. And guns are hard to come by. Unless you have really good connections with.
Yeah, unless you know somebody.
Yeah, unless you know somebody, right? But I can't just walk into Walmart and buy a gun. I can't.
Excuse me?
I can't just walk into Walmart and buy a gun. But you can do that in Texas. You can do that in California. You can do that in Florida. Like, and then they wonder why there's these mass shootings. Like, it's just very easy to get, and we don't have those. We do have mass shootings, but it's very, very rare.
But they want to take away the guns that people have legal.
Yeah, they want to take away legal hunting guns now, right? Is that true?
I'm not sure what all, like,
Okay.
my bestie Shauna and her father, I mean, they're into guns.
Okay.
And they want their guns.
Okay.
So they're hoping there's some changes in, what is the government leaders?
Would like the provincial leader or prime minister? How high are we talking here?
I'm talking about whoever makes the decision that wants to get rid of these guns.
Okay.
You mean they're against that? You know what mean?
I think that's at a provincial level. I think because every province has a different rule and every territory has a different rule on, like, let's say how many guns you're allowed to have in the home. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a federal rule, but I'm not a gun person myself. I don't even own a gun.
You don't own a gun.
even though I buy weapons all the time. It's never been a desire. I've shot the weapons. I've had friends that have brought me to ranges. In the States, it's really cool because you can just go out in Vegas and ask them to shoot a certain gun that might be a military gun level, and they'll let you shoot it. In Canada, I don't think we have places like that, and if we do, I've never been to one.
You mentioned you went to the schools.
I went
and spoke.
Yeah.
Did you speak about gun violence, or you spoke about your job?
I spoke about my job. So I went
Okay.
to a school in my hometown in London, Ontario. And it's the teachers asked me to come back and speak to the kids because they don't see a lot of kids like me, our skin color, that look like them, that can come out with a good education and then come out with a good job at the end of the day.
So what is your education?
So I have my university degree. I did that to make my mom happy. I didn't even really want to go to university. I actually wanted to go to college and become a police officer.
Okay.
But I went down the road of university to make my mom happy because I'm a huge mama's boy, and got my degree in sociology, which actually worked out in the end because to be a manager in the federal government, you're supposed to have a university degree. Like, I'm sure there's ways to circumvent that. They might go, oh, well, he has 25 years knowledge in procurement. We can make him a manager, and they can find ways to do it if you don't have it. But the easiest way is to just get that degree, and it's a check mark on your resume to say, hey, yeah, this is the guy. He's the right fit. And then, so I did 4 years at university. I didn't go straight into the federal government though, because at the time I was fighting for Team Canada. So I did some other jobs. I worked as a 911 dispatcher in my hometown. It was a good paying job. And then I wanted to move to Ottawa and train at the martial arts schools in Ottawa. So I moved 6 hours. I was dating a girl at the time in Ottawa, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll move for her. I'll train. And then when I was in Ottawa, I found out about federal government jobs. And their number one requisite was to learn French. So I didn't have French. So I had to go back to school, learn French to get the job. But then once you get to a certain level, they don't even make you hold that French knowledge.
Yeah.
And because I work in the States so much, I don't use my French that I have.
You said you're a mama's boy, and you kind of went that way.
Yep.
For your mother.
Yeah.
And that going to university is not cheap. It's not free.
That's right.
Or did you get a bursary or something?
So I got a grant to go to university. My parents had enough money saved for my first year university. And then I had a good summer job. I remember I worked as a dietary aide in a nursing home.
You said something right there.
Okay.
You said parents.
Yep.
So that means you had two parents in your life.
That's right.
That's something I'm not used to.
Okay.
I didn't even know my father's name.
Okay.
Or see his face until up to 9 or 10 months ago.
Okay.
I only seen it on a picture.
Okay.
He's no longer with us.
Okay.
So you had a mother and a father, and your family home, I guess, in dynamics was good enough to keep you out of jail.
Exactly.
You never been to jail?
Never been to jail. Never been to jail. Knock on wood. So yeah, so that makes us pivot the story to my family life. So grew up with a mom and dad that immigrated from South America with nothing. Half my family immigrated through Toronto. The other half of my family immigrated through New York. So I had an uncle, the oldest man in my mom's family, that got to New York first, New Jersey actually, and still lives there. He started sending, I guess, I'm not sure how immigration worked back then, but telling his relatives, listen, you need to come to North America. This is where you're going to make your life better instead of staying in South America, staying in Guyana, which was a third world country. And this is a land of opportunity. So he was proud to bring people to America. Then another one of my mom's siblings, another brother, he immigrated through Toronto. Through, I think, some cousins sponsored him to come to Toronto. He started bringing in family, the same family, in through Toronto. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I was just born in Canada, but this is a good story. So half there, half there. My family was in Toronto, and it wasn't even me. It was my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister who passed away. So my brother was going to school.
She passed away.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a bit about that.
Yeah.
If I
We'll
can.
pivot again.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you were just sitting there talking about their family history. Of
Mm-hmm.
This one came from here. This one brought this one in. I mean, myself, I'll just talk about myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of my family got here.
Okay.
And it's probably the same for a lot of the blacks around here.
Yeah.
How we come in. A lot of us know about slavery. We come
Yeah.
through some kind of slavery running from the States, but we don't know our family history. Mm-hmm. At least I don't.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some that do. But just sitting there and talking to another black man, here
Yeah.
you saying this one came from this one.
Yeah.
I find that to be impressive.
Oh,
because you know more about yourself, and that's got to make you feel better about yourself because you might not know everything.
Yeah.
But you know a bit about where you came from, how this happened, how we got here. I don't know how we got here.
Yeah.
My last name is Brown, which you would know is a slave name.
Yeah.
But my mom's last name was Ross. And her mom was Ross, and her father was a Goff.
Yeah.
And she went by Brown because that was the man that her mom married, and she took his last name. So I'm not even a Brown.
Okay.
So it's come to find out through my real father.
Yeah.
Was his mother was a Brown, but still a slave name.
Yes.
So somehow I'm stuck with the Brown.
So my last name is Blair, and slave name again. So I know that my roots come from Africa, and then they were brought over to Guyana to be slaves. Guyana is kind of like a melting pot country. So there's blacks that are the workers. There's Asians that are the owners. And they even have the white Portuguese people that are owners as well. But blacks were always just the hardworking people. And my mom is actually part black, part Asian, and then my dad is full black. So I call myself Blasian. Yeah. So maybe that's where my martial arts comes from. I don't even know.
We got to get to that. You mentioned the sister.
Yes.
She's no longer with us.
That's right.
I also had a sister who's no longer with us.
Oh.
Her name was Maxine.
Okay.
I never even saw a picture of her.
No.
I know it had an effect on my mom.
Okay.
And some of my brothers and sisters. But so can I ask you how you lost your sister?
Yeah. So my brother and sister, they were two peas in a pod, best friends. They were both born in Guyana.
Just let me cut you off because I didn't mention that my outside of where my house is right now.
Yep.
Used to be the homestead.
Okay.
She was hit by a car.
Okay.
And
sorry to hear that.
I never met her.
Yeah.
So that's how I lost my sister.
Okay, so we're in a similar boat. So my sister was hit by a truck driver or a bus. I think it was a truck driver in Toronto, and I wasn't even born. So it was just and then 2 years later, they had me. I was the replacement child. My parents say, you were never the replacement, but I'm like, yo, you were done with your family, and everyone in my family was born in Guyana. I'm the only one born in North America, in Toronto. So I was like, I'm not the replacement, but I was. So I used that. I never even met my sister. Don't even know who she is. Her name is Simone.
That in common.
Yeah, Simone Alexis. And even though I never met her, I always use that as motivation to do better and be better.
Okay.
I feel like my brother went the other way because he was there when she died. He went into depression. Literally there. They were crossing the street. The truck hit her, not him.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So it took a big toll on my family. My dad has never cried about it. My dad now has dementia, lives in a home. My dad was very mean to my brother growing up. And I never put two and two together until I was older. I'm being like, oh, maybe this is why my dad was subconsciously mean to my brother.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this happened in the 70s, so there was no mental health. You were a boy told you're not supposed to cry. I have two boys. I never tell them they're not allowed to cry. I was told not to cry when I was a kid. My brother was told not to cry, and I've never seen my dad cry. So I'm sure the same thing happened to him.
Is he older than your sister?
He was 2 years older than my sister, and so this happened when he was 7. She was 5, so I consider my sister an angel. And then my brother was 7. 2 years later, they had me. So my brother's 9 years older than me.
So you said your dad seemed a little bit mean with your brother.
Yeah.
You think he kind of blamed him a bit?
I think so. He would never admit it, But he said that he never cried because he had to be strong for my mom, who definitely cried over the
I
situation.
imagine.
Yeah, and I find that my brother should have got some psychological help
Yeah.
after you see it. Like, there's no way even if you or I got hit by a car, they would ask your partner, "Hey, do you need some
Yeah.
services?" And they would provide those services even if you said no. They would still come by and check on you and stuff like that. None of that happened in the 70s in Toronto for an immigrant family.
I just, my son, we make fires out here.
Okay.
And we put gasoline and light them. We had
Yeah.
a hole, we put wood in it, and we burn
Yeah.
the wood, old scraps and different stuff.
Yeah.
And he poured too much gas in it just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
They call it the East Preston explosion now.
Okay.
And when it went off and it was heard for miles around.
Okay.
And he could have lost his life.
Okay.
He has to have a little bit of ear damage.
Yeah. So he caught fire a little bit.
No. He let it, and then he did a trail and let it, and he was just really close to the explosion.
Okay.
And we're talking about mental trauma a little bit and
Yeah.
how things hurt. And there was some comments made about, what had happened up there. They said it was a meth lab and all kinds of talking craziness, right?
Wow.
Different comments that people put out.
Yeah.
But I'm only thinking if I lost my son,
Yeah.
I would need some help
Yes.
because I'm gonna blame myself. 'Cause
Right.
I usually like the fires.
That's right.
And I wasn't there and he lit it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine your brother could
Yeah.
have used a little bit of talking to.
He could have used some help. Now he definitely had a rough life. My brother growing up, he didn't stay on one path. He's been through some things. Right now though, he's actually living with my mom. So my dad he has dementia, lives in a home, and now he's a chef, so he can do that almost anywhere. So at the time, my mom and dad lived on their own together. And my dad started to develop the dementia, and my brother lived about 2 hours away. Now, my mom said, "Listen, why don't you just come live with me?"
Yeah, that's good for him and your
It's
mom. Then?
good for him. It's good for her.
Yeah.
And it gives my mom a break, because my mom still goes to the home every day.
Okay.
To the nursing home.
To see your father.
To see my father. He still knows who my mom is. He knows who I am. He doesn't know about my kids. He's forgot about that.
How are you, man? How are you with all that?
I've been good. I've been really good with it.
Not with getting dementia. How
Yeah.
are you with dealing with all that?
No. With everything, all in all, I think everybody is where they should be. My
Okay.
brother should be with my mother. She needs the help. My dad should be in a nursing home, and he is, and I'm happy that he got the help, because he should have been in a nursing home 2 years prior to when he even got into the nursing home.
Yeah, it's hard.
So,
it's hard
but-
to tell your parents. I had to go
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers and sisters, we had to make the decision to let mom go to a nursing home.
Yeah.
Then I put a piece on the house and brought my mother back home.
Okay.
That led to even a little bit more difficulties because we couldn't have full-time staff to take care of her. So there was a lot of coming back and forth, the ambulance, the different stuff. She couldn't breathe at times.
Okay.
And we couldn't take care of her. So we had to rush to the hospital. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, taking care of a parent when they get old and they need help, it can be stressful on the child.
Yes. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how old you are.
That's right. And my dad was at the point where I was thinking, well, I'm going to lose my mom, who's healthy. I'm going to lose my mom because she's tending to you.
Right.
And it's just wearing her down. She got under 100 pounds. Not that she was a big lady anyway, but like she usually hovered at 110, 115, but she got under 100 pounds. And I was like, listen, this is stress. This is
Right.
from stress. You not eating, you making sure that dad's eating, you making sure that dad's not leaving the home. Like, we had to put a tag on him. We had to notify the police so that when they would pick him up, they don't bring him to jail. We bring him back here. Because my dad was doing some crazy stuff, like walking into people's houses, walking into cars, saying that the car is his and all kinds of stuff. So we had to put him in the system so that we would keep him safe.
So he's in a good place.
He's in a good place. He's where he needs to be.
So I imagine your mom goes there every day to check on him just to make sure they're taking care of him right.
Making sure that they treat him right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
How often do you see him? You get to see him?
I only get to see my dad maybe 3 times a year. Same with my mom. I see my mom maybe 6 times a year because now she has the freedom. Now that my dad's in a nursing home, she has the freedom to leave and come see myself and my family. So that's good.
We talked about fighting, and your dad's fighting, and your mom's fighting for him, and caring for him, and that. Now you did some fighting.
That's right. So ever since I was I started martial arts when I was about 9 years old. I wanted to do boxing. My dad was a boxer in the military.
Me too.
Nice. and I said, Dad, I want to do that. We used to watch Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvis Hagler, and he's like, no.
Who won that fight? I know you know what fight I'm talking about.
Yeah, well,
who won that fight?
On paper or like like Sugar Ray, they gave the match to Sugar Ray, but I think Hagler won.
Me too.
We can agree. Yes.
He kept stealing the rounds at the end there.
That's right. And
the crowd just took that, and the judges took that, and that kind of changed Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
he kind of went away from boxing. He died recently too.
Did he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So, and Sugar Ray, he's still around?
Oh, he's still around.
Okay.
Still around, taking people's titles. But yeah, you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, so martial arts, they were like, okay, if you do well in school, we'll sign you up for martial arts. I've always wanted to do both. I wanted to do boxing and martial arts because we used to watch Bruce Lee movies together, my dad and I, and then we used to watch the boxing matches. So I got my grades up to a level where they would say, okay, well, you're allowed to go to martial arts. And then I got lucky. I was with a martial artist. His name is Michael Bernardo, a great martial artist, great man as well. He was another father figure.
So this is in school?
This is while I was in school. Yeah.
So they had a.
Oh no! I went.
Say you got to
it
go.
was outside of school. But I got to join up for karate.
Okay.
Because it was expensive.
Okay.
Martial arts was expensive to join.
And school paid for it?
No. My parents paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents paid for it.
So I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how did doing well in school help pay for it? Your parents told you that?
My parents said if I do well in school, we'll pay for you to go to karate and join karate. Okay. So that's how it all started. But then I excelled really well in martial arts. I became a martial arts instructor. I was a junior instructor when I was like a green belt, and I got paid basically to do my favorite sport in the world. So it was a win-win situation. And then eventually I joined Team Canada. So got to travel around the world.
There's some footage of you up somewhere.
Yes,
we're gonna find some.
Yeah, we'll have to find that for the video.
Yeah.
So some of it is under my name, some of it is under my opponent's name, the people that I fought. So I've been on YouTube, but social media wasn't big when I was big in martial arts. When I was at the top of my division, it wasn't as big. YouTube was out, but even that wasn't that huge at the time. And
what year was it?
So that was back in like 90. I want to say 98, 97.
When did you win the title in Germany?
Yeah, that was 97. Okay. In 97 in Karlsruhe. We'll have to fact check that. I don't want to give the fans the wrong dates. Well, we'll fact check that, but I retired shortly after because I finished in Spain. I won a world silver medal in the WKA. That's the association, the World Kickboxing Karate Association. And then the next year was Germany, and a friend of mine that I fought is actually Canadian. So in minus 65 kilos, that was my division, which is about 142 pounds. It was always Canada, and then Canada. And I think it was like that for like about 3 or 4 years in a row where Canada was the best at that weight class. So after I won in Germany, I said, okay, I could focus on other things now. That was my goal. I wanted to win.
As far as you wanted to take it.
That's as far as I wanted to go.
How many guys you had to go through to get that title?
So full contact karate is a 2-minute match it's basically tag, except for I'm allowed to hit you as hard as you want with your feet or your hands. There's no ground fighting. So the referee just says, stop, go. So it's like a sprint for 2 minutes. And there's about 5 rounds before you get to like the medal round.
Okay.
Then when you get to the medal round, then they end up having 2 third places. So if you lose in the semifinals, you're a bronze medalist. Then the two winners of the semifinals will fight for gold and silver. So you end up fighting about 6 or 7 fights before you make it to your gold medal match.
So the guys you were fighting, were they from Germany?
So there's Germany, that's really good. Italy is really good. Spain was really good. America is really
Right.
good.
You beat them all.
And those 2 years in a row, Canada finished 1-2, 1-2. I'm so proud of that, and it's so cool to wear your country's flag on your back.
So you went to, this was the games.
So this was the World Championship. So it wasn't the Olympics.
Okay.
The Olympics was karate was only in Olympics for a few Olympics, and I feel like they pick and choose. So I think the Olympics one year was in Japan, so they obviously put karate because karate is an ancient sport from Japan. So they put it in there. I don't think it's always in the Olympics karate, and there's an Olympic style karate, and then there's a freestyle karate. There's traditional karate. There's a lot of different styles. So somebody might say, "Hey, I'm a world champion. How could he be a world champion?"
Right.
Well, there's different leagues.
Right.
So that's why.
You still practice?
So I still train, but I don't train to win world championships. I train just to stay. I find that when I do martial arts, it helps me stay in shape and keep away my dad bod.
Is your son's in it?
They're not in it yet. I tried with my 7-year-old, or 6-year-old. He'll be 7 in August. I tried with him, and he said, "No, Daddy, I don't want to do that yet." So I don't think he's going to be a fighter, but you never know. I didn't even start till I was 9, so I'm going to give him some time, and hopefully later on they'll both want to try it.
Being a father and a husband,
Yeah.
and being a man that you've done a lot of different things, and you're doing something now that definitely not a black guys are not doing.
No.
What do you see your sons doing, and what will you want them probably to develop into their own self?
Yes.
But would you see your role in that and helping them do that?
Basically just giving them the opportunity to try everything. I never had those opportunities. I didn't even know this was a job. The job that I do right now, didn't even know that it was a job that existed. I've seen it in movies.
Yeah. We talked about that today.
We talked about that, War Dogs, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it in movies, but I didn't know that it was a real live thing. It is actually my personality that got me this job. So I got a job in the federal government because I knew I wanted a job with benefits and a pension, and that was secure. That's all I want. I never even wanted to be rich. That was never a goal of my life. A lot of people grow up and they're like, "Oh, I want to be rich." I said, "I just want to be comfortable."
Yeah.
I feel like my
Nothing
parents
wrong with being
worked-
rich, though.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being rich. Absolutely not. And if I end up being rich, then I end up being rich. I don't think there's a lot of public servants that end up being rich, but they definitely are comfortable. There's a
Can I
lot of
ask you
time
what you
off.
make?
Yeah. So my salary is you can Google it. So I'm a PG 5, but I'll just tell you, my salary is $128,000 a year.
Okay.
So I don't think that's a number where you're going to be rich, but you can be comfortable.
You can invest it.
But if you make the right decisions,
Yes.
like I was lucky that my mom worked in the world of stocks. So I knew about stocks when I was very, very young before I could even afford to buy a stock. And it's funny. I used to always think that my parents were poor, but they weren't. They were just very frugal.
Right.
And they spent their money where it should be spent. And my parents invested their money so that they're in a good place now, and they never had to come and ask anybody for money.
Right.
They paid off their mortgage. They told me when I told them I wanted to buy a house that was a great idea, because they knew that property is important. A lot of people rather have a big fancy car than have a property.
Or a chain.
or a chain, fancy clothes. So
That's powerful. Sorry,
all I want to do, is give my kids opportunities to try things. I never had the opportunities to try swimming one day and sign up for swimming lessons and then try karate another day. Like when we picked the sport, that was your sport. Whether you liked it or not, I had to stay in it because my parents didn't have all the funds left, right, and center to be like, try baseball today, try hockey tomorrow, try soccer the next day. So I just want to give my kids opportunities like that so that they can make decisions. And I didn't even know there was such thing as an engineer. I work with engineers every day, but I didn't even know that that was something that you could take in school, engineering and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, my dad was a public servant too. He ended up being a health inspector, and then my mom worked for a bank, CIBC Wood Gundy. And I just didn't know a lot of things. Like, I wish I knew half of the things that I know now, right? But everyone says that, and I think your parents just kind of lead you in one path, but back then they lead you too much, and they try to steer you too much to one thing, and then if that doesn't work out, well, then what do you do?
They couldn't give you what they didn't have. And they
Yeah.
couldn't tell you what they didn't know.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I'm a lot like you.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit ashamed of it.
Yeah.
I'm closer to my sons than my daughters.
Okay.
And my sons are away playing football in BC.
Yeah.
They play for a farm team for BC Lions.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll get signed one day. But even if they don't,
Yeah.
they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're living in an apartment together.
Yeah.
That me and their mother helped them fund the pay, but they're free.
Yes.
And I love that about them.
Yeah, and they have opportunities.
Yes, and they don't want to be here and shovel snow anyway.
That's right.
But I love that they don't have to be digging in the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see any other way I was going to survive. Because I do construction.
Yeah.
But I say this thousands of times. I don't like to be dirty.
Okay.
I'd rather be in sandals and shorts all the time.
Okay.
And never see snow again.
Yeah.
But I had to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and I found a way in construction to survive, to take care of myself, and to help my family better. But I'm still looking to be free.
Yeah.
To be free from all this hard labor.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm learning to play the game of life better.
Okay.
And getting to talk to people like you, and just having the courage to go up to you, man. Because you could have told me to get away from you.
Yeah.
None of your business, but I could tell you weren't shy because you're talking loud anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody around could hear what you was saying, basically.
Exactly.
And you weren't saying nothing out of the way, but I could tell that those and I'm not prejudiced in any manner, because when I see my kids, I see me, and their mother's white.
Yeah.
But those white people, I'm sure they could hear you too. And I'm sure they were impressed.
I hope so. I hope so.
So-
I hope I'm trying to break the stereotype and show other kids that look like us that there's opportunities out there. You just got to work a little bit. You honestly have to work a little bit harder.
You do.
You have to be a standout to show why should I hire this guy when I can hire this guy that looks like me,
What
right?
is-
Because I don't have any bosses that look like me. I've never had a boss that looks like me.
And what do you say to the women and men that are watching this that have a bit of an attitude with that? Mm-hmm. That they think they should be treated a different way because they're black, or when someone's giving them a hard time because they're black. Like, what do you say to them too, so they can keep going and not screw themselves just because of what they're thinking and their emotions at the time?
Well, to be honest, I grew up a very angry person too, and always blamed
Me too.
and always blamed racism for everything, even though sometimes it was my own fault. I blamed racism, but I was like, no, I was the one that was an idiot. It wasn't even their fault. I gave them a reason to look down on me.
Right.
So now I really try to just give them a reason to look up to me and
Right.
say, hey, look at this guy. And then they just forget about race. They're just like, whoa, he's
Right.
just a hard worker. He works on weekends. He takes phone calls after 6 p.m. when most government employees won't do that. So I just try to go above and beyond and prove them wrong and give them a reason to hate you. And they're not going to find one. They're going to be like, yo, this is a great guy. You know,
the
he's
same.
loud. They'll definitely say that. He's loud. But I'm just a confident person. I walk with my head high. And what I don't like about that is sometimes when there's an inkling to be racist, they'll say, Dwain is cocky. But they'll say, Jim, the white Caucasian man, is confident. That's what I don't like. And but I don't really, I'm the kind of person that doesn't take a lot of shit, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna call you out right away when you're treating me different from you're treating my colleague. I'm going to ask you why.
But you're going to use your words.
But I'm going to use my words.
gonna
And
use your
don't get
words.
angry
Yeah.
because that just
Don't
gives
threaten anybody.
Don't threaten anybody. Don't be crazy. Don't be the young Dwain Blair. Be the older
Yeah.
Dwain Blair, the wiser Dwain Blair, right? And I see it in my kids now. Like they are so empathetic. They are so kind. They are so, and I just love seeing them. They don't get angry. They don't get mad at people. They give people the benefit of the doubt. And it's just a modeled behavior.
Yeah. Those emotions are all right to use, but we got to balance it out.
Exactly.
I mean, because I used to get angry. I still can get angry right quick.
Yeah.
But I can think through it. Now that I have a little bit more to lose,
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for me to think about what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where you going with that?
Exactly.
If you want to have a drink, how much are you gonna drink?
100%.
You get it Uber. So am I thinking better because I don't want to lose what I built, or I'm just tired of the foolishness? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of things. I don't want to lose what I'm building.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of being Mr. Do-Over. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be anybody's role model.
Okay.
But I want my kids to look at me and say, that's not what Dad would do.
Yeah.
And then them do the right thing, and I don't have to even be there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I want to be someone that my kids look up to.
Okay.
And my daughters as well.
Exactly.
One of my daughters worked with me with this film. I say it all the time because I got to give her so much credit, and she loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. Desiree. She loves it.
I love it.
And I like working with her, and we're building our relationship.
Awesome.
And doing these things, getting my life together, and getting the chance to talk to you, man. Man, you dropped you said it all worked out because people's planes were being delayed, and you had meetings and different stuff, and it all worked out for you to come. That's the energy of life, man.
Yeah.
It's just seeing you here, man, seeing the glow on your face. And I just met you.
It's crazy, right? We literally met 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. Almost missed our flight together.
Yeah. That would have been your fault if you would have went with your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Your time is 10 minutes.
I got to learn how to read my app. But can I ask you questions about yourself too?
Oh, yes. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So you said that you started this business and your goal is not to be dirty. So you started. I'm assuming you started with yourself and then you grew your team. How did that all come to play?
Oh, I started out working with my brothers.
Okay.
And different people in the community.
Yeah.
And I was going to get kicked out of school in grade 10.
Okay.
And Mr. Tynes at the time, he said, Rob, I know where you're going, but you're leaving here. He gave me the opportunity. He said, you can go to vocational school.
Okay.
And I wanted to take electrician.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I wanted to be an electrician more than anything that school was offering.
Okay.
But I took bricklaying because I knew more about concrete and mortar and stuff and rocks. I thought that would be better. But I knew I was going to have a problem with theory.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you something that you don't know about me. I don't read and write.
Really? Yeah. No. Wouldn't have known that.
I don't read and
You
write.
speak very eloquently, sir.
It's trial and error.
Okay.
So I know I have a problem with the theory.
Okay.
And two guys, I always mention their name. I get a chance. Mr. Kilgard and Mr. Mead got me through because I was good with the class projects.
Okay.
And I
hands-on.
Yeah. And I had learned from my brothers and stuff but the stuff they taught me in the class made me do laying stones.
Yeah.
I could lay stones very fast.
Okay.
Because of the training I had with the bricks.
Okay.
And I put all that together and, in the streets selling drugs and different stuff. I wasn't good at selling drugs.
Okay.
I wasn't good at paying bills and different stuff. I was good at partying and spending the money.
Yeah.
But doing this construction, when we go do quotes, I never know how much the job's going to be.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a high for me, especially if I get the job.
Okay.
So it was almost like selling dope.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much if someone calls me to come meet them. I didn't know how much dope they were going to want.
Okay.
Or how much cash I was going to have.
Yeah.
So doing construction and different jobs, there could be any number of money.
Yeah. And
that's a high for me. And I get money. I love when I get a draw.
Yeah.
Because the draw is basically mine. Because the rest of the money I use to get the job done.
Okay.
It's like I use it it's a kind of like a buzz for me. It's like a high.
Okay.
To make money, support myself, to have more, to do better.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be dirty.
Okay.
I'm fussy.
Yeah.
And I can work at things and get it done even if it's tough.
Yeah.
And doing the construction, things get tough.
Yeah.
So I use all that, but that's really me. Mm-hmm. That's really me. But I don't want to be doing it forever. I'd rather be doing this.
Yeah.
Sitting there having a conversation. Now, if I was a doctor, a lawyer, or a policeman or something, well, then I'd be doing something. I'd be doing that.
Yeah. But
my life journey and all I went through has allowed me to use my words to speak and then try to keep motivating myself and my family and to be in a safe place where people can hear me and hear my guests and help themselves get to a safe place.
Okay.
And realize there's no guarantees to this life and learn how to play this. I call life a game. Okay. Learn how to play it better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that you win more than you lose.
Absolutely.
And I've been winning.
That's
more
good.
Than I've been losing. And I still don't want to be dirty.
Yeah.
But some days I do what I got to do until I get to the place where I can say, man, I did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at me now and say, "Man, look all you achieved." They don't know. I'm just beginning.
Okay.
I'm not really laid on yet.
Okay.
You know, so I got a lot more work to put in.
So you're planning to do this for like, keep your company, do it for a decade more, and then eventually sit back and watch your company just keep growing. Hopefully, pass it on to one of your sons or something like that.
I'm never going to just sit back and just do nothing.
Okay.
And I would love for my oldest son to know he works with me.
Yep.
To do more now. We'll see where that goes.
Yep.
But I'm into property too.
Okay.
Rental properties and then building those and developing the land and stuff.
And how many are in your empire now?
Oh, I have my home and then I have 4 others.
Okay,
And
that's great.
We're in right now. We're building some more. I don't want to say the number.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to put too much of my stuff out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Keep my stuff within my energy that's for
right.
me all the time.
Yep.
And yeah, but we're doing it, man.
Yeah.
And it's working from the bottom up.
Yep.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
But it is possible.
Absolutely.
If I can do it, and that's saying that from someone said, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Man, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But it did take me trial and error.
Yeah.
And I am looking towards a better life and a longer life.
Yeah.
You know, a more healthier life.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And you like to work out? What's your workout regimen like?
I work out every day.
Okay.
Except for the weekends, I may still get up and do Kegels.
Okay.
Because I had the steroids and I have my Kegels now could help me build my man stuff back up stronger.
Okay. Okay.
And you want to talk about workouts? I have a base challenge.
Okay.
So you haven't watched any of the shows yet?
No.
Base challenge.
Okay.
Base challenge are those 100-pound dumbbells right there.
Okay.
And if you can curl them,
No.
I'll give you $1,000.
Dude, there's a 0% chance. I actually was, and I was like, why am I sore? And I don't even know what I did. Like, I honestly must have did a couple reps of something, and I actually woke up the other day thinking I shouldn't be sore like this. I need to work out harder. I'm ashamed of my shape right now. So yeah, that'd be one day when I can. I'm going to surprise you. Pop back in, because I go to the East Coast. I go to the West Coast. I go to San Diego. I go all around North America. So I'll definitely be back. I'll pop in. I'll be like, okay, I'm ready for the challenge, sir.
Is there any move you like better than others when it comes to your martial arts?
So,
any
what I was
hold?
known for was just my reverse punch, so straight right hand, and a spinning side kick. So it'd be a spin side kick where I can crack your ribs, knock the wind out of you, because it's full contact tag. But if you can't continue, the match is over. Okay. So it's made to win by points. A lot of matches at the world championship level are pretty close. It's very rare that a match could end after you beat them by 10 points. But if you're the best in your country and you're fighting another guy that's the best in his country, it's very rare that you're going to beat him by 10 points. Like that's very, very unusual. So, but has been times where I hit somebody so hard that they just can't continue. And they get basically a 10 count, and then the referee will come in. They might even bring a doctor, and the doctor will say the match is over. And so I've been known to do that a few times.
Right.
But it was just a good time in my life. It's gone now. There's no way I could fight like that anymore. And I would be scared to get into a street fight today.
Scared?
Yeah, I would literally be scared to be in a street fight. People would say, well, we got Dwain. He's a black belt. He's a world champion. I was like, I was a world champion, and that was another part of my life. I don't train like that anymore, and the world is just different now. So street fighting back when I was a kid was a regular thing. People went to the bar, they got into a fight, they went back in the bar, had a beer together, and the beef was done. Now it's like guns, knives. People drive to your house. They try to hurt your family. I am way too old for that nonsense. I don't have time for any of that.
You're talking about being beat.
Yeah.
And your dad is going through some struggles.
Mm-hmm.
What in life right now are you thinking about ahead of time that you want to avoid, that you don't get beat? Is it your finances? Is it your relationships? Is it your health? What are you doing to make sure that it doesn't beat you later on?
Oh, so right now I have a really good friend who is a ICU doctor, and he talks about prevention over medicine. Everybody I find everybody, I don't even know if it's true. I just find it just from my, like, everybody wants to be put on meds to solve a problem. Well, this guy is like, well, why don't you just don't have the problem? Eat healthy, stay healthy, live a clean life. Absolutely. I love beer, but I know there's no reason to have 6 or 7 beers. Just have 1 or 2 beers because you love beer. I did it today. Had a beer. It was yummy. But I'm going to go to bed. Get your sleep. Very important. A lot of people take that for granted. Working in the bar scene. I worked in the bar scene. I was up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning partying and stuff like that. Yeah, I used to bartend back in the day.
Yeah.
And in Ottawa. And so those days are done. Get my sleep. Stay healthy. My dad has dementia. So that's why he's in a nursing home. So I just try to keep my mind right. Still try to use my brain every day. And even with my kids, I try to get them to like not be on their iPads, not be on their screens. Let's read books. Tell me about what you read. You know, they're
Right.
young. They're reading little books, but which makes me want to read more. Which is great for your brain and will hopefully keep the dementia away. I'm sure there's some science behind stuff like that using your brain. I think you were telling me about science and medicine.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about medicine, but just the natural stuff. I listen to people like Dr. Sabi and what is that gentleman's name? Say it.
Yaki.
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 Yeah.
He's a doctor too, Dr. Yaki?
I hope we're not beating his name up.
Okay.
But he's like a chemist.
Okay.
He goes into the plants and different stuff and sees what's in the foods and different stuff. And he breaks it down. And it's a lot of information.
Okay.
But one thing I don't do is I don't follow people. I get the information.
Yep.
And I take that.
Okay.
Because and I say things people don't want to hear.
Okay.
But just take the stuff that you can use and go with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of stuff people are saying, I don't want anything to do with that. But what did you say about that heart? What did you say about the kidneys? What did you say about the eyes?
Okay.
Oh, and then you tell me what you did and it worked? Oh, I want that information.
I want that knowledge.
I want that. And there's lots of people out there like that.
Okay.
That had that experience. Life is meant to be lived. And, and I want people to know, because I know it's a game.
Okay.
And we have to learn how to play the game better. And in a game, there's rules.
Yeah.
So you can't have 10 beer. But you can have a beer. You can enjoy it. You can have a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do anything you want. But how much of it is going to be a problem for you? Mm-hmm. That's what you got to figure out.
Yeah.
My brother says it all the time. Change your mind, change your life.
Okay.
I've been changing my mind. I've been changing my life.
Nice.
So I've been staying busy.
All right. And what is the motto of Base Talks? Do you have a motto?
Well, I'm Base. That's my nickname. And Base, and I'm in construction.
Yeah.
Nothing can stand without a base.
That's right.
You know, and I used to sell dope in Houston one time, so people thought base was for free basing and stuff like that. But base, I took that word and I made it something real.
Okay.
Because none of us can function without a good base.
100%.
That's everything. Our homes, our walking, our ground, everything. Mm-hmm. And so that is the motto, man. Stand on a good base.
Okay.
And know what it is.
Yes.
And know that you're the one in charge of it through the changing of your own mind.
That's right.
You know, no one has the right to tell you what you shouldn't do or do. Mm-hmm. That's up to you.
Okay.
And if you want to run your life into the ground, go ahead.
That's your goal.
I had enough of that. Because this has been great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think about this even after you're gone.
Thank you.
I'm going to think about, why I meet this day. Because I really do believe in the energy. And I know how energy works. Mm-hmm. And nothing really happens for no reason.
Yeah.
And this happened. And I hope somebody got something from this.
I hope whoever watches this learns something, right? That's my goal every day, is to learn something new.
And you've been smiling the whole time. A lot of times I'm smiling on the inside, but my face, I'm just mad. Because I want to be clean and I'm dirty.
You got that resting bitch face, right?
What's that? I don't know. Did he just call me a name? I don't know if I can attack him.
Well, listen, it was great to meet you. I'm so happy that we met in the lounge with one of your besties there in the lounge, making sure we didn't miss the flight, Shauna.
Yeah.
And it's great to be here, and I hope I can add something to the Base Talks.
Yeah, man. Check us out too.
I will. Don't worry. I will. You got a new follower and a new fan for life, man.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
If I quit, you gotta tell yourself. You gotta be your own boss. You gotta be your own boss. You gotta be your own boss.
I feel you, man. Listen, thanks for the talk, bro. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon, okay?
Thanks for calling me, man.
No,
but,
thank you. All right, man.